Loaded into game number 1. Up here in the top right-hand corner, we got the Forge Force Gaming Pro Team player, the Teal Zerg SpazyMazy.
Hello. And his opponent horizontally across the map in the red, also from Forge Force Pro, it's GamerRichy.
Oh yeah. Now, these aren't the worst spawn positions for SpazyMazy, but they're not the best. Still, I'd say slightly Terran favored, but he wants cross spawns, as Zerg often does. Nope, that's not. There we go. Because obviously, like the rush distance, the prey pushes of Terran is basically what makes maps Terran favored on basically any map. If you think about all the big, strong Terran maps, the only exception really, well, it's Reaper Cliffs and strength of the prey push, short rally points for the prey push with like strong forward bases they can take.
Yeah, they shove across the map. They say, "Good boy, Zerg." That's the river of Terran, man. Flowing ever onwards from the heights of the top left.
We've got GamerRichy's family turning up in chat again.
Always a good day when they turn up.
It is. GamerRichy's big mama. Big shout out.
Yeah. I was actually going to hold back on the shout out a little while just because she asked for it. I was just thinking.
Oh right, I didn't say.
No, I know. I wasn't going to.
I haven't actually read anything that she said.
It's your choice. She said, "Give you a shout out." It's just like, hold up there. We're not your puppets.
I am not a number.
You are the puppet.
I am a letter.
As it turns out.
You're a number.
That's true. Caster 1 and Caster B.
Caster 1 and Caster B, indeed.
Richie opening with a command center first. Kind of makes sense on a map like this. As it's one of the larger maps, as it's a force spawn, you stand a reasonable chance of being able to get your fast macro established unpunished.
Yeah, you should be able to get away with it pretty nicely, and not only is it quite a large map as you mentioned, but very, very easy to wall this off, as GamerRichy is going to show with like 2 barracks and maybe a supply depot. I'm not even sure if you need it. I'm not a Zerg, I'm not an expert in the ways of wall-ins, I'm just an expert in going, that wall-in's got a hole in it. Let's push Zerglings in until I win the game.
Just keep shoving it in there.
Keep shoving it in there.
As they say. I don't think they do say. I hope they don't.
It'll be a little alright. Yeah, the Overlord now comes in for SpazyMazy, spots that CC first. He'll know just by how much health it is, how long ago it started, and therefore being the top GM player that he is, when...
Looks like there's a one-heads gap in this wall, which I kind of like because obviously it means things can get in and out, but I don't necessarily like, if only because it means Lings can get in. Like you said, that's the hole in which the Lings can run by. For now though, I just think it's a nice strong wall in the wall, keeping those Lings out for as long as possible, and follow up with the third barracks will fill in the hole.
Brilliant.
As a progress player, I'm obsessed with SimCity.
Yeah, I think there's still another hole towards the left-hand side.
I think you might be right as well.
It's a little difficult to tell with that kind of rocky terrain. Sometimes it's moving path blocker, sometimes it's not, but that does look like quite a big hole to not be.
Yeah, I don't know though.
Either way, do you think GamerRichy would have gone for this sort of wall-off with a bunch of barracks if he was in the cross-spawn
from where find out. I don't know.
I don't think it'd be worth running through anyway.
No.
Just because I'd have to go around taking fire from 3 Marines.
There's so many Marines.
Yeah. But if GamerRichy was down here, where his SUV scouting, do you reckon he'd have done that?
Actually,
no. No, hang on. No, the add-ons do go on the wrong side of the wall this time.
They do?
That's interesting.
Yes. Meaning he doesn't have any of those for now.
And if he does get
in itself is an interesting thing. Maybe he is just going to make a buttload of Marines, put on a little bit of very early pressure, and then turn up and try and do something with it. I don't know. It's kind of, they've got it now.
It's possible.
They thought about that, I think, but not actually choosing to go for it. Instead, SpazyMazy just poking a little bit at the front, seeing what he can see, seeing what he can perhaps bait out of his opponent. Currently, absolutely nothing except this wall of barracks.
Yeah, nothing too much. The Rotron goes down at home for SpazyMazy. SpazyMazy is also a player like Cladderheiser who is capable of and pretty good at playing roaches. Though we saw yesterday he usually elects the Rotron for a bit more safety. I was talking to him about his build a little bit because it did interest me, and he just feels it's just basically safe against any Terran cheese and enables him to get out the standard Lingling Muta, that late game powerhouse that Zerg turns into once 3-3 is finished for them and Ultras hit the field, and you can just build like infinite numbers of Banelings off 10 gas.
Infinite numbers of Banelings. Isn't that the scariest sentence to have ever come so casually out of your mouth?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, it's scary and mildly arousing because as a Zerg player,
as a Zerg player,
that is how I find banelings.
Scary and mildly arousing.
Yes.
Yeah, so this big Marine force, and it is a big Marine force, might be looking to move out in the near future. It's just, I'm really surprised by like how heavily he's committed. Going for CC into 3 racks, it feels almost Wings of Liberty, in a way.
It is. It's made a lot of a return into the meta recently, although some of the Koreans have been developing upon it and just going 2 racks after it, but most of the Europeans seem to be going for that 3 racks. Just you've got so many Marines. He's going to be able to actually kill roaches because he's got so many Marines.
It's quite possible, yeah. I mean, the Marines outrace the roaches. Of course, with the roach micro could be coming back. We're just seeing a step forward. The roaches are targeting down Marines as best they can, but the Marines are repeating that process back, and I think they're actually going to be dealt with quite effectively. It's a really interesting thing that we've seen happen here, though, because with this attacking force of roaches, 7 roaches, 7 larvae, that's a decent amount of money. That's not really what you want to be investing for absolutely no real return. But on the other hand, if Richie was planning any kind of assault, gone. Can't do that anymore.
Absolutely.
Cannot assault at all. And for only 7 larvae, that leaves a hell of a lot of droning potential and defense in the form of lings, which of course are going to be strong because there's no Hellions.
Yeah, that is very true. Baneling's also going to be great against no-stim Marines, although GamerRichy has gone for combat shields before stim. So the Banelings are still going to 2-shot these Marines rather than just 1-shotting them if you've gone for stim first, and they stim down to 35 HP. So I don't know whether it'll be better or worse. I mean, the Banelings are going to be a little bit faster than these Marines. Of course, off creep with no speed. They're only, actually they're just a fraction.
Where's the stim, Richie?
They're all trapped in front of the bunker, and the Banes get to burst through the bunker to some extent, and the Marines at the same time gets a nice round, stops a lot of those SCVs from repairing, and yeah, things are looking a little bit dicey for the Force Force Gaming Terran player here.
2 more Marines coming out. They're going to immediately be cleaned up by the Zerg forces. A couple more to reinforce, but this is really scary. It's a good job for these SCVs and how good they are at fighting stuff. Because if they weren't here doing that, then this game could be over already.
Spoken like a true Protoss right there. But yeah, more and more links stream in. The Marine count is starting to build up a little bit in the back, which is going to enable these SCVs to be a much better meat shield. Well, to actually meat shield for something rather than just kind of die and occasionally kill a ling or 2, but overall, very successful attack by GamerRichy. 12 SCVs taken out, giving him a solid 10 worker advantage as he finishes up his Spire, and the third base is, gas is underway, and he's looking to go into a pretty solid little macro game.
Yeah, hopefully, if that can be established, because we're seeing SpazyMazy transitioning towards the Mutalisks might not be the best against a largely Marine-based composition, but at the same time, with the general lack of mobility that Richie has in general, he only has a couple of medevacs at this stage, compared to maybe a few more, like we could be seeing 4 or 6, maybe in a normal game compared to only 2, and if Richie's caught off guard in that position, but actually I think it might be the Mutas that are caught off guard in that position, for like straight into that Marine ball they weren't expecting to find. Now going to try and loop around, but moving back for defense. Trying to pick off those Hellbats in the rear. Of course, those would be excellent at dealing with Ling defenses. With all the gas having been spent on Mutas, not that many Banes out at the moment.
No, they're just finishing up. Bane speed isn't finished either, and GamerRichy with Stim is going to be able to split against these Banelings so easily. SpazyMazy tries to come in, tries to get those Banelings. The Hellbats left in the front a little bit, and those were a couple of good connections at the end.
Yeah,
and it leaves only enough Mutas, or only enough Marines behind for the Mutas to actually be able to clear up. So SpazyMazy holds off that little bit of pressure from GamerRichy and picks off a very full medevac.
This is where you need that medevac Stim, man. You need to be getting out of there.
Absolutely. Medevac's just not fast enough. Why isn't boost permanent, and why don't they have a double boost?
It is weird when you see like a medevac moving along and you're just like, how did we ever get dropped by those?
I know.
Ever.
I know.
And yet it happened.
Yeah. Well, it's just amazing how much everybody is continually improving, even at the highest level.
Yeah.
Like, me as a low mid diamond now is still like almost as good as like some of the very first GSL runs.
Probably better.
Possibly better.
Probably quite a lot better.
If you look back at the replays, they're just like, I remember like Huck talks a lot about how I think with Demago used to go for like either a Nidus all in or a Bane Bust at the front, and you just have to go, well, I can only defend one of those. I can't prepare against 2 cheeses.
Good times. So, see the mutant will try and push into the new third, but the turret finishing just in time, and of course, Marines moving down to chase those off. Maybe a little bit of an overstim. I know that might be a novel concept to Richie, but not overstimming per se, but stimming too many of the Marines is what I meant.
Yes, possibly. But you know what? If you stim half your Marines, then the other half get left behind. It's just a little bit lonely. It's not really fair on them, and Richie, nothing else, is a very fair guy. He wants all the Marines to get involved in the fight. Let them all have their chance to shine. These mutas are doing great work for SpazyMazy here. He's lost a couple just when he got caught off guard. But oh my god, how many banelings is that? Whoa! Mine doesn't know which one to target and actually misses a bunch of the banelings. And now they crash forward, taking out a lot of the bio here. And there's just a couple Marines left over to fight against these mutalisks. As more and more lings stream across the map, SpazyMazy, he wants to deny this third base, and it looks like he's going to be able to.
I actually thought that was really nicely controlled by Richie, though. Like his Marines, oh, don't rally, you can start shooting, yes. Okay, if he'd maybe been a little bit less attentive there, then he would have lost a lot more. And he actually came out of that not looking like he'd totally been destroyed by a massive force of banelings when he was up against the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked more like an even engagement than I think it really was. I don't think Richie was expecting that at all.
No, well, we weren't expecting it at all. We can see both sides of the map. We did not see that coming. We were totally focused on the mutalist. Suddenly, in they come. And while it does leave Mazy looking more dominant than ever, I don't think the game is out by any stretch. The issue is going to be establishing this third base, because at this point, Richie is kind of confined within his own walls. He's got those mules to tide him through a little bit. But it's 16 minutes. His main is getting towards mined out. He needs a third base to even stay on close to 2.5 base, whatever it is with mules economy. And as he breaks out that third, desperate for that money, the mules are just going to harass it away. He's getting a Thor in there.
Yeah, it's actually going to catch fire in just a second, and Richie does have SCVs on the way to repair it, so I don't think it's going to die, but there's a possibility he loses an SCV or two. No, he's okay. The muta count for SpazyMazy isn't that high, only 11 mutas. He's building up a bit, but I think he lost a few at some stage, and I mean, I think actually if he had like a solid ball of mutas, then he could have ended the game with all those banings. But on the other hand, if it had a solid ball of mutas, he wouldn't have had so many
banings. Don't get surrounded there, Richie. Pull him back now. Oh, and he just play against those banes, I think. It's not actually mattering because the lings are just not letting through.
Lings tanking for the banelings.
Yeah, it's always nice when your own units work against you. It's like when you get your zealots at the back because they're the slowest unit, and they try and charge and they just get stuck behind doors.
Looks a bit awkward.
Oh, nice bit of that micro on the Thor. Picking up, dropping off, allowing a couple of extra shots to come through.
Yeah, very, very handy, but Richie moves forward again. The Widow Mines are very good though, but they kill off the Thor. Yeah. So, swings and roundabouts. As much as they take out most of SpazyMazy's Ling army. That was one of the big things keeping him in against those mutalisks, and now he steps forward again. This is a pretty decent split, but that just means the Lings and the mutas are all the more effective. Another Thor comes in, has to retreat back behind that wall. The Overseer is actually on quite low health here for SpazyMazy. He can't break through that wall. He'd need like, what, 8, 12 banelings to actually bust through it.
It's a very, very thick wall. I actually really like the British productions at the front because it means his reinforcement rate is absolutely stellar.
But the Thor goes down again, and the Marine count is, I think, just a little too low to really deal with
the Lings got in. Walked in.
Oh, that Widowmine shot. 21 kills in this Widowmine. I think that's the first shot it's fired off. Still, though, these mutalisks straight on top of the production. As at the front as it is going to be pretty easy for him to clear out these Marines. They'll lose a muta or two. When these Widowmines come off cooldown, they might have to back off or bait them out with the Lings again. But
and of course, this is the trade for having that production at the front that I like so much, because when it gets taken out, and it's right there to be taken out, when it gets taken out, you don't get more units. You know that game could be over, and I think that might be what we're about to see out of GamerRichy as the supply is dropping down to 22 army supply.
Yeah, big hit on all GamerRichy's SCVs from the Widowmine as well. And 2 Widowmines bar up, might get a big shot on these mutalisks, but just managed to avoid it. And the missile turret in the natural midline has been taken out, the linchpin of his defense against these mutas now. And how many Marines even left on the field? Just 3 against 14, 15 mutalisks now. Hive nearly 3/4 of the way done for SpazyMazy, and the late game powerhouse. It hits with Hive. GG, well played to GamerRichy, and SpazyMazy takes game number 1.
Yeah, and I got to say, it's not too much of a surprise. SpazyMazy is one of their favourites to win, as you said earlier. But of course, we look at that game and we go, it's not out of the question that Richie can still take it. He got caught a little bit off guard. Let's be honest. He built a lot of Marines in the early game, and whatever he was planning to do with those was shut down by the roach tag.
Yeah.
From then on, he was defending, effectively. He couldn't really attack. He did try. He made some good attacks. His micro was on point all the way through the game, but he didn't have the opportunity to really execute the strategy he desired. And it just meant that Mazy was able to take them out. Mazy was able to keep that macro flowing in, keep the money coming in, fuel the Zerg war machine, and Richie was stuck inside his base. At the end of the game, he was down to 400 income.
Very, very
Minimal
low.
income
He
plateau.
kept on having to pull SCVs, and although they were like good SCV pulls, they kept him alive. He just lost 1 or 2 or 1 or more than that. He'd lose like 5, 10, 5, 10, 5, 10, and then just so few at the end that he just couldn't afford to replenish them and get army, and then he had to just get army, and then his SCV kind of dwindled and dwindled away until SpazyMazy.
Can we stop Nightbot banning links? Oh no, Nightbot's done. Okay, we got this.
Oh, I didn't know like what was banning links.
Yeah, no, I think Sion tried to link it, and Nightbot was just like,
No,
no,
I haven't really set up my bot.
Get out of my path.
What's map number 2? It is not Iron Fortress. Oh no, it's just been taken away. It was Terraform, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was Terraform.
Okay.
Now you say it, I know it's Terraform.
So let's get that up. Terraform 2 small map should play out quite differently.
What's that map with the and in it? Like,
Dash and Terminal.
yeah, that. I wanted to call it Bump and Grind, but I knew it wasn't. I knew it wasn't Bump and Grind.
It doesn't sound anything like it.
I knew it was something in something.
I really like it. I think that that's going to be my official nickname now for
Bump and Grind.
Dash and Terminal. Bump and Grind. You know, Terrans can't open Reaper against Protoss on that map.
I did not know that.
Despite it being, you've seen how tiny the Reaper rush distance is.
Yeah.
If they open Reaper, then a fast Mothership Core can literally end the game.
Damn.
They can't
It
get
just
enough.
flies over.
Yeah, it just flies over. They can't get enough Marines out to deal with the Mothership Core, and it just kills them. It kills takes out 3-4 Marines,
Nice.
and then just sits over them and all going
Forever.
forever.
It's
One
like,
Marine comes out and it's like
it's like 5 shots.
Yeah. Let's get this lobby set up. So yeah, GamerRichy is ready once again, and SpazyMazy confirms he is as well. They're going teal and blue this time, just to make things slightly harder on us. Oh no, GamerRichy's changed to red. What a guy! What a guy! Obviously, he's listening to our cast.
Well, he might be, but it is 3 minutes in the past for him.
It is 3 minutes.
So for him, the game is not even yet over if he's on the stream. He'll hear us saying things like, "Didn't micro the battle as good as what it needed to be microed," and other such castery things.
Yes. Why hasn't he banglings the Marines yet?
No.
Oh, no. Some of the players were making attempts at casting last night as well, and it is always funny when people try and cast and then realize, hang on, this stuff's actually
Yeah, like they
it's
were,
not
they,
just
they were trying to
talking
talk, and they were just like, "Oh, wait, no, hold on, we don't sound like we know what we're talking about, but we do, but we don't sound like it."
Absolutely. What you got to do is meaningless platitudes like Reapers are pretty fast.
It really is quite important, but it's like, who was it who was talking about? Was he talking about drinking juice or something? Someone was like, "Oh, you can't cast drinking juice," and we then proceeded to do that for several minutes.
Oh yeah, cast picking up a Coke can. Nobody was picking up a Coke can.
It was very psychological. It was a serious psychological battle of man versus metal.
Yeah, man versus imaginary metal.
Exactly. It was deep. It was so deep.
Oh, apparently that was our entry phase.
Yes.
In the game. And speaking of in the game,
Yeah.
let's get to it.
Richie's mom in the chat. GamerRichy's Big Mama. I know you gave him that one. This time, blow him away. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Take it to Game 3.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Game 3 will be Iron Fortress. GamerRichy has said they won't need it, because, but now, I guess he's hoping they will. He said at the start of the series.
Yeah.
Now, I guess so. Anyway.
That is weak trash talk if you go in 1-0 down.
Yeah, we won't need map 3.
I'm going to beat you twice on this one.
Ah, yeah. Down here in the bottom right hand corner, we've got the Fortress Gaming Pro Team player, the Teal Zergs, SpazyMazy.
And across the map in the red, you all know him well. It is GamerRichy representing Forge Force Pro.
Yes, indeed. Bit of a team kill going on here. I think the group stages were right for Forge Force Gaming. I think all of their players got through. I'm just trying to think of who's eliminated, and I don't think anyone from Forge Force was. But the bracket stages, there's a lot of force on force action going on, which is a bit of a shame. But on the other hand, when you comprise like half of the player base for Epic LAN, you're gonna have 1 or 2 team kills.
It's just like, it's one of the ways. When you move through a tournament, when you have stacked it so much with your own players, and it's like you're gonna have to do a bit of team killing to get to the top. However, that does make it interesting because it's always nice to watch the team battles because there's often so many mind games going on. But I think SpazyMazy's quite a new player, so it's less perhaps psychological.
Yeah, a little bit less so. Like he didn't seem like somebody who was particularly easy to take off guard with psychological warfare tactics. There was a lot of interesting, I guess, tactical persuasion going down last night around the bar area with various players saying, "Oh no worries, I'll buy you a drink. Buy you a drink."
Did that happen? I missed that.
Yeah, everybody was trying to get their opponents drunk.
Yeah, no, that I noticed.
Yeah.
I liked that. I thought that was excellent psychological warfare.
What we'll do is make sure Boombox is pissed, and then he won't be able to play with that.
But I think he is able to play. I think they're all surviving, except maybe Clara Heiser, who is as yet unconfirmed for attending.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know what's happened to him. I know when I went to bed at like 4 AM, he was trying to get GM still.
Yeah.
And he was winning like all his games, but just not getting GM.
Richie is going for a number of command centers. A number of command centers higher than 0. It is many command centers. On a little map like this, you are at risk of roaches. Like,
yes,
that is a risk.
Very true. Yeah, SpazyMazy hasn't thrown down his roach on yet. I think he would fairly shortly if he goes for the same sort of build as he has in previous games, on this map even, or just as last game. And if he moves out with the 7 roaches, I think it'll force more of a reaction this time from GamerRichy. I think it'll force a bit more of an SCV pull.
Oh yeah,
but
definitely.
On the other hand, yeah, Richie will be able to afford much more of an SCV pull. I think Richie does have to cut some kind of corners or make some risks to take out SpazyMazy. If they just play the standard game, then the favoured player wins. And I don't think you can really argue that's not SpazyMazy. As much as he might not have any stimmable units.
Yes. Give him time.
Yeah.
There's a hole there.
There's a hole.
Hellions just moved through it.
Yeah. That could cause a whole lot of trouble later.
Worst. Hellion Reaper Pressure is going to be coming out of Richie. This is like a really standard build. You should all know well. Where you basically go barracks, command center, or command center, barracks, then factory, then command center, or then command center, then factory. Terran, nice and versatile in that area. You can expand however you like.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like Terran's got the most options for where to expand as well.
Yeah, true.
They can be like, well, I'm going to take a forward base and break from that. I'm going to take a backward base and
I'm going to take a base in my base and then base it down to the gold base.
Yeah, I'm going to take a base in your base and then make it a planetary fortress. Viable. Either way, decent little Hellion count coming up here. Although GamerRichy does seem to be stopping production at 4. Usually you get like 6 to 8, but GamerRichy's going a little lighter on that, so he can get up some of the bit more greedy production stuff, I guess.
Yeah,
he's got double eBay going down and just a lot of stuff taken into the later game.
I think what he's trying to do is make it look like he's going for heavy Hellion Reaper Pressure, and instead going for quite actually like bad positioning on those Hellions there though. You do not want to be caught between 2 roaches when you're a Hellion.
No, that would be between a roach and a roach place. But
yes.
Yes, not good Hellions. And speaking of being caught between various things, I think GamerRichy is going to be caught between a roach and a baneling place pretty shortly.
No.
Because the baneling nest is finished here for SpazyMazy. He's just
exactly
straight up
what I was worried about when I saw this build order.
Yep, I'm going to morph in a bunch of banelings outside your natural. The roaches take out a lot of the Hellions. You can keep those Hellions away from the banelings, he will bust through this, no problem. Actually, no SCD pull. The bunkers are not even close to completion. A siege tank is going to be the bastion of defense here for GamerRichy, but it's not focusing down the banelings. Now it is. Gets 1 good shot, 2 good shots, but they're already in the mineral line. Every baneling that dies is going to take a couple of SCVs, although actually they kicked up without too much trouble by GamerRichy.
That was okay.
Considering the pressure, that was a very good hold, and this is not an all-in from SpazyMazy. It's just a bit of pressure. Behind this, the layer's finishing up, drones are in production, And SpazyMazy, with that tank in the excellent position it is, can't really keep on pushing in.
If you think about it, if he committed to Hellions just a little bit more, that tank would not have been out when he wanted it. So that is probably what that's for. He went, okay, I'm going to make it look like you can do this, and then I'm going to shut it down with a counterplay that is already in the making.
Yeah, that was a very, very good build order read, correct, and just play by GamerRichy. Still though, he is down in STVs. 38 to 52, does have the power of triple mule, so the incomes are about the same off the top of my head, a little bit higher for GamerRichy. And SpazyMazy, of course, has delayed his third to do that, delayed Mutalisks, delayed upgrades, and all of these things, considering how greedy GamerRichy has been, he's going to be in such a good position later on in the game. When he remembers to start his +1 armor as well, he'll have double upgrades, just so much fun. There's still no Evo chambers on the field for SpazyMazy. It's Mutalisks.
That's the investment cost of all of that, all of those minerals and gas into roaches, into banelings. You don't get the tech part up quite as fast. Like, the meters are on their way. That's why it takes a long time to build, so there's a lot of time for Spazy to bank up that 1,000 gas that he does now have. But the third base only just completing for our Zerg player means that he's really quite behind where you might expect a Zerg to be at this stage of the game, at 11 minutes and then some.
Definitely. And while GamerRichy is, well, probably was more so a little bit as well, he's going to be able to power himself up back to full strength fairly rapidly. The +1 armor started now, and armory is on the way, set to finish just a little after infantry weapons, and yeah, then he's going to be able to get his +2, and without any Evo chambers even on the field yet for SpazyMazy. I feel like GamerRichy is going to be on at least 2-1 before SpazyMazy even hits his 1-1.
That is monstrous. That's so far ahead.
That's enormous.
Maybe not the greatest engagement in terms of the tanks there.
That's a bangling hit
as well. That's going to shut down most of that. If this was Legacy, those tanks would be up and away, but as it is, they're both being taken out by the Mutalisks, and the remnants of that attack force going home. Banelings, so good if you're not careful.
Yeah, that was... I think GamerRichy just needed a tiny, like one more half hex on all the Marines, and he would have been just fine against that Marines. But it was very, very close, but very well done by SpazyMazy nonetheless. A tank back at home, ready for the defense, but you can't defend against lings that are attacking you if you're a tank on Siege Mode. GamerRichy has to evacuate his third. His army is not really looking comparable to what SpazyMazy actually has on his side of the field yet.
Half the supply upgrades be as they are. Like, pushing into this is very, very difficult, and the meters are just going to clean up the third. It's like a repeat of the end of the previous game, and I think that Richie's in a better position than he was last time, but he's gone for tanks rather than mines, so he's less able to defend against the meters. Yeah,
the meters are a bit more difficult for him here, and SpazyMazy is getting a couple of banelings up to try and bust through this wall again, as GamerRichy plugs a couple of holes in there. This is a wall and a half. Supply depot is just weird bending around, but you know, it gets the job done. Mutalisks though pick up an add-on up in the main base. GamerRichy evacs everything, or almost everything up there, before having to run back down again, and this is going to leave him very weak against these banelings if SpazyMazy decides to go in. It looks like in the minute he's just trying to set up a bit of contain as he takes his fourth base, gets his 1-1 upgrades on the way, and infestation pit for that fast hive once again.
Quite a quick would be quite a quick high, like 20 minutes would be pretty standard, but now seeing it coming in a bit earlier, because Spazy smells that he's got that map dominance, he has the control of the field that allows for faster tech, and even with the earlier delays, I thought it was triple upgrades for a second, but one of them was fire attacks.
Technically triple upgrades, but not the unusual
not the usual triple upgrades, you know what I mean?
Widowmine's now coming out for GamerRichy as well, and that's going to help out against the Thor's a bit. I think he's on double factory production. I think he has to be.
He's put it back quite nicely, actually. If we look, there are 14 banelings morphing, but they are right the way back across the map with the rest of them. So these Marines are able to chase the meters back. The third base has been re-established. Richie is trying to regain his footing.
Yeah, creep spread from SpazyMazy. Not great. He could be working on it, but it's good enough. And you know, he's taking out that Thor.
Yeah, a couple of extra SCVs going down there as well. Missile turret presumably being taken out, although actually flying over that a little bit. Slightly slow reaction on that from Richie. The Thor being picked up and dropped off to shoot down an extra Mutalisk. Always nice to finally confirm the kill on those because they regenerate so fast.
Oh yeah, look at them just healing themselves up. It's beautiful.
So very
Mutalisks,
for you to say.
Yes. Mutalisks should, I think, be like combined with Medivacs and kept on Zerg. So
no, that's 2v2
So they
strats.
medevac themselves. So
They basically already do.
Each muta, yeah, but they should keep the regen as well.
Oh.
So each mutalisk heals another mutalisk in a beautiful symbiotic web, symbolizing the.
Only if while healing they can't shoot, and they prioritize healing.
Yeah, but you just right click to turn it off, autocast.
It's okay. It means half
And then you run them away, and then right click to turn it back on.
Oh, I see what you're going for.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
The immutable splitting around the side. Oh no, not going to lose one. One thought one is not enough. And then you've got the Lings up towards the north. He's looking for that sandwich, that perfect Terran sandwich. I'm a bit concerned that SpazyMazy might be about to achieve that. If he gets that full concave off with the Banes, with the Mutas, with everything. Was that destructible rocks? Or is that destructible rocks?
They are destructible rocks.
And
they were collapsed. That is the destructible rocks formed by the collapsible rock tower.
Thank you.
So they were collapsible rocks. Now they are destructible rocks.
Yes, I thought it was.
Dust and powder. War.
You know, collapsible rocks.
I'm surprised there's no rocks in here as yet, given that Dustin Brothers working on that. Either way, big engagement here coming from SpazyMazy. He's looking for that sandwich, and it looks like he's about to get it. GamerRichy very pumped up, but it pulls back at the last second, leaving a lot of those Banes to go off on Marauders. But
look at the Banes in the third base. Look at that. The whole third base cleaned out. 23 SCVs taken out at the front. The Lings and Banes still pushing. SpazyMazy looking so strong, pushing into the natural with the Banes, breaking down the wall. The Marines are being shoved back again and again, even against the units they're supposed to counter.
Yeah, absolutely. The Zergstorm overrunning here. Lings flooding into the natural middle line as well. Missile turret gets taken out, no problem. GamerRichy, GG, well played. He was right about not needing that third map.
Yeah,
good luck in the next round.
Out.
Yeah, as manner as ever. And yeah, we're gonna.
Mum's going to be disappointed. Mum and Cuz going to both be disappointed.
Yeah, but he is up next as well on stream in his lose bracket match. It's double elimination.
Again.
So yes, that's what our schedule is up in the minute.
Okay.
So Zero versus Figaro though. No, we've got our screaming schedule that I gave to Gumpster and.
Alrighty, I don't mind. We have a schedule.
You're right. We have a schedule. You got to stick to the plan.
But stick to the plan, you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna get an interview from SpazyMazy. Just when we get into our interview area, it's a different interview area, but luckily for all you bar fans, it still features the bar in the background, which is really what it's all about here at Epic Clan. Barcraft, but
it's not Barcraft.
It's not.
We're just near a bar.
We're just near a bar.
That guy. The guy on the screen.
Past the thing.
Can they see that?
No, they can't see it. They can't see it.
Okay.
If they can see that, they can.
There was a guy just like walking past the screen, looking at it.
It was always funny.
Suspicion.
Yes, because we just had we got like a permanent Skype call onto the interviewer's computer, and oh yeah, I should actually get it so I can hear him.
Oh,
yeah, we just got a permanent Skype call. We got double interview, so we're gonna be packing it in towards here and try and get the. They're all ready. They're all having fun.
Yes.
The glasses are out, and yeah, just as soon as we get the word that they're ready, brilliant. We are going to hop straight to it. So yeah, take it away, FaZe.
Alright, I'm here with SpazyMazy and GamerRichy. Richie just eyeing up the camera with his stim glasses, and Spazy here, the Dane, the man, the meme, the legend. And how do you feel? I'm gonna ask this. These are questions to both of you. How do you feel as games went?
Pretty well. Pretty nice.
pretty. Thanks. All right, and Richie, what about you?
This time, so it went
you managed to get 2-2.
Better than last time.
Are you sure right about no third map?
Well, to be honest, the first map I wanted to take upgrades really, really early because I know that Spazy plays a very late upgraded sort of army. I traded really bad at the start of the game. And it's sort of the momentum really swung for Spazy there. So, yeah, it was really unlucky. Had my 2-2 done just before his 1-1 as well. Yeah. If I'd have been able to get the third base and the 3-3 with a couple of thoughts, would have been able to take that game. The second game, however, I was going to do something a lot different to what Spazy doesn't like, and he wouldn't be happy me doing this build to him. Really? But no, I was going to do something really dirty.
Wow. I was scouting for it.
You know, the first game didn't go as planned, so...
I scouted the third.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah. I was thinking that you might 2x, man.
Well, that was great play by Spazy, like, just keep on denying your bases, like...
Yeah, and I played ultra aggressive, because normally I'm defensive against Richie.
Wow, he even knows playstyle. Like, do you two practice a lot?
Yeah.
Like, wait, lots? Wow. Right, and that's like sort of work out for you in the end, did it, Richie?
Yeah, oh no, it didn't. Well, at the end of the day, I'm in the losers bracket now, so I've got to work my way back up. And hopefully actually meet Spazy again, because after that first game I feel really confident because of the way that, you know, the upgrades went, and, you know, the army that I had wasn't actually too bad. It's just that the control and maybe some of the building placements could have been changed, definitely.
Well, the first game of the day is always hard. That's why you have bonus pools, like, just in case you lean it. But in this, you don't really have bonus pools.
Like 10 games, man.
You played 10 games before it. Wow, alright, and is there any questions from the casters? All right, let's give them some shout outs. What do you have any shout outs?
Whoa, I have so many, man. Okay, let's go.
You can't shout out all of Denmark.
How many? How
Like,
many shout outs?
We'll give you 3.
3. Okay, shout out to Richie for losing to me, and then shout out to Scotch, the German Nazi, and then shout out to Denmark, and then later I'm gonna shout out some more people because I'm gonna win the tournament.
Wow. Oh, the confidence, boys, the confidence. Do you?
I got to destroy.
Richie, I'm guessing you want to shout like all of your whole family in chat.
Oh, are they all in there? Oh, brilliant! That's fantastic. Yeah,
they're watching, man.
Thank you for watching, guys. I will come back in the losers bracket, and I will come back to face Spazy. And this will be, it'll be different this time because I noticed some things about Spazy that he normally doesn't do. If he does them in the next one, I'm going to be able to punish it.
All-ins.
So there we go. Yeah.
Hopefully we don't see all-ins because we like the long games, long macro games between you two.
Games, man.
Well, yeah, but like.
Versus 4.
Oh, wow, left. I know you want. I know you like. You don't. I don't know. I'm just not gonna argue.
As an interview, man.
I
to argue.
Why didn't you win, Richie? Let's argue about that.
He's Terran, man.
Well, Zergo P.
No, Zergo P. You kidding?
Mutus, man.
No, well, Spazy knows me pretty well, so it's going to be really hard to get something away from Spazy that we haven't already practiced against each other with.
The first game was weird, man.
Yeah, the first game I was trying to make you really confused about what I was doing. Yeah. So that worked in my favour, but I'm afraid I just didn't trade well enough in the early game, and you know, it just wasn't, you know, it just wasn't my game, that one.
Well, hopefully the games in the loser brackets will go your way. Like I feel like you could definitely build your way back up. Like you have this confidence now, and the confidence and the momentum will carry you. And Spazy,
I already won the event, man.
Oh, you already won the event by coming.
Yeah, I beat Richie. I won the event.
Are you saying that Richie's the hardest opponent here?
Yeah, he's my teammate, of course, man. Mind games.
All right, all right. Is that everything, or do you have more questions? All right. I'm gonna leave you guys to get back to your games. And
he's gonna lose now. To like Sluggy or something.
Oh, the BM. He just says
he's gonna lose to Wardy, man.
He says he's gonna lose to Wardy or Sluggy.
Yeah, he's gonna lose to Wardy, man.
Oh wow, the BM Spazy. Like what happened? Like you know, being teammates. Just like you know. Oh, I already.
You started off really well with that.
I see how it is. Yeah, man. Foreigners coming into our country taking our prize pools.
Easy, man.
All right, and I'm gonna throw it back over to Left and Trigonal. All right, guys.